Hello Capricorn, Elsie here to do a reading. It is for, I don't know, whenever it's for. I mean, it could be for the week ahead, depending on when you're seeing this, right? Thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you, Capricorn. I'm here to do a reading for you. We are doing a 9-card read this week to find out what sort of energies might be coming about for you, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Please remember, this reading is not only for Capricorn Sun. It is for all those other placements that I mentioned. So if you're interested in a private read, if you're interested in coming into the extension, I will tell you how to find those two things at the end of this video. Thank you for clicking here in the way that you have been beautifully supporting me. Thank you so much for your thumbs up, and your thumbs up do grow this Capricorn tribe. So thank you so much for doing that. Big deal for me, not such a big deal for you. So thank you. All right, let's find out what's going on for Capricorn. 9-card draw for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. Something here that you are in contemplation about here, Capricorn. Queen of Pentacles, that's your energy, Cappies. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, because we are in a general read, but that is Capricorn energy. Pre-Empress energy here. You're being very careful with some sort of decision. I think that you have been in this place of contemplation or reassessment. I know the truth is what I'm saying, speaking on your behalf. I think you know the truth of the situation and what you have to do. But I feel that you fear that other people looking from the outside in might see you as being aggressive with your words. And I feel like that's what you're trying to meter here. I feel like you're sort of back and forth about something, a decision you want to make in the 3D. There's 2 pentacles here. And I feel like you've been moving slowly toward actually saying something that others might feel is aggressive, but I feel like you're in your truth-telling era, my friend. That's what it feels like. You're in this truth-telling era of, yep, that's what I'm saying. And I'm going to say it in the most balanced and honest and truthful way that I can. And I'm not here to hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm here to be honest and truthful. And this Knight of Swords tells me that this is something that you need to do. The Knight of Swords has a sword in the air. I got something to say. And so it feels like a truth is about to be spoken. Now, you could be speaking your truth to an employer or about your workplace, your time, your effort, your energy. It feels like there's something here that has been in the reassessment phase with you for a while. In other words, you haven't said anything up until now. We have the 7 of Swords in the reverse. Very interesting, because the 7 of Swords in the reverse is more of, I can't keep this to myself any longer. I've got to say something about it. And I feel like the Knight of Pentacles is saying, this is a situation that I have to reassess before I say anything, because I know that I'll be saying the truth, because the Knight of Swords is carrying that sort of truth. Oh boy. Okay. So the World card is here. I think whatever words you're about to say, there is a decision you're making here to say something very truthful and honest, first of all. So I don't think that you're saying it to be terrible or awful to anybody. I feel like the truth must come out, and you are a person of dignity, right? And it feels like if I were to keep this to myself, if I kept it hidden or concealed, I couldn't live with myself, because you're a person who is used to telling the truth. We've got the Ace of Swords. There it is. I was talking about the Ace of Swords being in the hand of the Knight. And so it does feel like here that there is something that you do want to say. Now, I feel as though this is a major decision that you've come to, and it is going to close the door to something else. And it could be the place where you work. It could be a relationship that you have. The Queen of Pentacles tells me it's something that is in your 3D world: time, effort, energy, money, house, car, the job you work at. So something that is in your current life right now is something that I feel you're closing the door on. I think something has run its course, I want to say. It feels like something has run its course, and now you've got to be honest with yourself and others, and you've just got to say it. It's time to stop keeping it hidden here. But I think you have a worry about how people will perceive you. And I'll say, you know your worth. You know that you are a person that doesn't just rush in. You're a person who plans things and thinks about things and makes sure that, I've got all of the information before I say something. You're very flexible in the way that you speak to others. But I feel like something here must come to an end. And I feel like it's, the world card is like an accomplishment or a milestone. So I feel like this is that for you, that you're finally speaking up here. It feels like with the moon energy here and the 7 of Swords, the moon energy with the 7 of Swords tells me that there's a secret or something that's been hiding in the dark that you knew about. And I feel that you kept it quiet for the right reasons, I'm going to say. I don't think that you kept it quiet to be sneaky. I think that you kept it quiet because you didn't want someone to be hurt with your words or with the truth that you're about to tell somebody here. It feels like you held back. This Hanged Man tells me that you went into a pause because you knew that the fallout or the outcome of the truth that you're about to speak, the decision you're making to speak the truth, I feel that it's going to either sacrifice a friendship or your job. It feels like you know that the outcome is going to have to be the end of something. And I feel like you are now feeling strong enough to say the thing, because I don't think that it's not that you don't value the thing that you will lose once you speak up, but I feel like your integrity won't allow you not to speak up is what it feels like. We've got the King of Swords in the reverse. It could also be that you've been holding back and not saying something because this King of Swords is a little bit hard to deal with. I'm just going to say in the reverse, the King of Swords is someone who's not watching their words, who uses their words to hurt other people. They could be someone who is not listening to their intuition, someone who's not following their own rules. That's somebody who's telling you what to do, but not following their own rules. Do what I say, not as I do. So I feel like you're about to take on the King of Swords in the reverse, but I feel like you had to be standing in your power as the Queen of Pentacles in order to do it. I'm going to put down a couple of cards here. We're going to see what's going on under the surface that you don't see. What's going on under the surface here for Capricorn? We've got the Knight of Wands. Look, you've got a lot of bravery here. It feels like the Knight of Wands is saying, do it. Do it. It feels like you need to be brave. You need to be brave and say it. This is a hard decision because it feels like you're going to have to cut something out. That's the conundrum of the 2 swords, right? Is that you're going to have to cut a path out. You're going to have to cut a person out. You're going to have to choose between 2 things and cut one out. But I feel like you're being asked to use your intuition. 2 of Swords is about that. I feel like you have been uneasy about revealing whatever it is that's going to be revealed because you know that the King of Swords is not going to be happy. You're going to have to deal with someone who's very cutting with their words. So I'm going to say be brave, friend, because I feel like you're going to need to be brave here. I'm going to say that the person that you are cutting out or the person that you intend on confronting with the information that you have, it feels like this is a person you've known for a while or that you've got a deep bond with. This could be, I do see the kings as fathers, right? So this could be a father who is kind of mean or is mean-spirited when you don't agree with what they want to do. So 3 swords are here. I think you've not said anything up until now because you've been trying to avoid an argument or a fight or somebody being disappointed in you and telling you that you have no worth. This person could be someone who speaks at a turn or someone who goes straight for the jugular once you don't agree with what they're doing. I feel like this person is somebody that you shared a lot with. So this could mean that you are in a romantic relationship with them, but it doesn't have to because the 2 of Cups isn't about love. It is about emotions. And so it feels like someone you've deepened your bond with, shared emotions with. They know you intimately, you know them intimately, and intimacy has nothing to do with what's between the sheets. It feels like there is some intimate knowledge here, and I feel like you have to be brave because this is something that you build over time when you trust somebody. And so I feel like there is something here that you have to address, and this person is going to be harsh with their words, and you know that. Tell me about the Queen of Pentacles. Tell me about Capricorn. We've got the 8 of Wands. This is happening soon, friend. Probably, if not next week, probably within the next 8 weeks, or maybe it's been 8 weeks that you've been thinking about it, that you've been reassessing the situation, trying to figure out what the best way is to say something. We were talking about the 6 of Pentacles And we're talking about the Hermit energy. So I feel like you've been keeping to yourself, trying to find a decision-making process or the words, how you're going to say it. It feels like you've been in a dark night of the soul, but I think what has grown out of that is you as the Queen of Pentacles. You've realized your worth, and you're like, you can't treat me like that. You can't treat me like that. You can't say harsh words to me. Just because I'm speaking the truth, you can't treat me like that. So I feel like there is some sort of a conversation that's going to happen here. And it feels like it is, I feel like you know that this is going to be a hard conversation to have. It might be with a group of people. It could be Six of Pentacles is here, but this is reciprocal energy. So I feel like you're hoping that this is going to be a back and forth conversation, but I'm going to say don't expect it. Don't expect that this person can only give you a one-dimensional or two-dimensional view of what's going on. The King of Swords in the upright is someone who has wisdom, someone who has knowledge, and they're using all of that by using facts. Like, they're not emotional, but they're using facts and truth and honesty. They do have integrity, but when the King of Swords is in the reverse, they're just attacking with their words. So I think that is why you're in Hermit energy. You're trying to find the right way to say something, checking in with yourself one last moment to see if you're the problem. I don't think you are. I feel like the Queen of Pentacles is never the problem. The Queen of Pentacles is the one who's overgiving, and that might be the problem. So you may be overgiving. Maybe there's a group of people that are at risk here too, that you feel like, well, this whole group of people, if I take on the one, I could be taken on the many. Tell me about the Seven of Swords being in the reverse. I feel like there's something here that you've been holding on to for a really long time that you're about to reveal here. We've got the King of Pentacles. We've got the Nine of Pentacles. What's going on here? Something flipped. And we've got the Nine of Cups. So it does feel like what you are revealing to someone here, look, I'm in charge. I'm in charge of me. I'm about to settle into some sort of large purchase. I'm about to settle down financially. It feels like you're saying to someone, look, I also have the wisdom. I feel like this King of Swords feels like there's somebody who is going to give you a hard time about making a very solid and grounded decision that you've thought out for a long period of time. It does feel like you're leaving somewhere, if I'm being honest. It feels like you are solid in the way that you feel about something. You're very confident about the way you feel about something, and it does feel like it could be a relationship, or it could be that you're walking away from something that had you tied financially. We have the Nine of Pentacles, right? So that makes me feel like you're about to build something on your own, or it's time to go out on your own. And then we have the Nine of Cups, because that's the only way that you are going to find your wish fulfillment or your happiness. It feels like there's somebody here who maybe wanted you to live via tradition, their traditions. And when you went outside their traditions, they told you no and tried to snap you back in. It feels like there is somebody here that maybe somebody here that I feel that you sort of had respect for, I would say. But this person, I feel that the only way that they will accept you as you is if you do what they say and say what they do. But they want to be able to have the autonomy to change their mind, but they think you should follow the tradition. Tell me about the Ace of Swords. Just looked up at the timer. It was 13:33. Tell me about the Ace of Swords. What is going to be said here? Because I feel like this is going to end up in some sort of argument, fight, disagreement. Somebody is going to feel heartbroken about the decision that you're making, and it's going to come out wrong. They're going to berate you. That's what it feels like. They're not going to say, look, that's hurting my feelings. They're going to berate you and use sharp words. We have the Two of Swords. I was talking about that, right? Two of Swords, you are cutting something out for another path. And so now we have 5 swords here, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. It tells me that we've got fundamental differences, and the King of Swords is not having it. So I don't know, maybe you said that, yeah, Dad, I want to be, or Mom, I want to be a doctor just like you. And maybe you've decided to change your path and go into finance. It feels like there's a decision here. That's what we're going to be arguing about, that there is a decision here. And I was saying that here at the beginning with the Two Pentacles, and the Two Pentacles shows up to say, yep, I've been weighing and measuring how I'm going to say this to you. Two of Wands, and I have to do it. I don't want to feel stuck here at the crossroads anymore. So I feel like it's time for you to speak your truth. And I feel like the truth you have to speak is, it's time for me to go out on my own and build my own life, do my own thing, build my own thing. And you could be leaving a marriage, you could be leaving a relationship, but you could be leaving somebody behind, like a best friend, or you could have a really great and deep connection with a parent until you do something outside of what they want you to do. So maybe because everybody was a farmer, you're supposed to be a farmer, but you actually just want to be an artist. Like, it feels like there's something here that everybody has done that they expect you're just going to fall in line and do as well. Let's talk about the Hanged Man, because I feel like you're about to sacrifice something, my friend. You're about to make a big, big sacrifice. And I think that you don't see it just yet, because I don't think you're expecting this person to act in this way. I don't think you're expecting them to say, look, well, if you don't do that, then you're the will. You're the family. It doesn't have to be a family thing. It could be a relationship thing. Yep, 5 of Wands, right? We counted them out. Five swords is here. 5 wands now we have. So something's about to go down really quickly. A couple of 5s here, right? 5 of Wands. We've got the Tower in the reverse. So that tells me that's your warning shot. Something is about to shift. And I feel like that's why you've been in the pause, is because you know that something is about to shift and you're not really sure how to deal with it, because it's really overwhelmingly emotional. The hard part of it is that you're dealing with the King of Swords in reverse, and that person is not going to feel your emotion at all. I feel like you're doing something for the right reason, but I also feel like there is something here that needs to be reconciled by you, and someone else feels like if you're not with them, you're against them. That's what it feels like. We're going to talk about the rest of this. What is it that's ending? Let's talk about the Knight of Pentacles and why you've been taking so long to make this decision. What was the reassessment process? And that you have to, why do you feel like you have to just blurt it out or be brave by speaking your truth? Because I feel like what you don't see, the moon here, is things are not as they seem. What you don't see is that you're going to end up closing a door and sacrificing this relationship, because this person, I feel, is about to be a whole problem. We've got the King, or sorry, not the King, but the Hierophant. It's time to stand on business. I think that's what's going on. Capricorn, you're about to stand up for yourself and stand on business. Look, we're going to go into the extension. We're going to talk about the rest of this and what the result is of this coming to the surface, because you're about to be really brave and possibly break a 2 of Cups connection. And if you want to be in the extension to see how this all pans out, then please look in the extended. You'll find that link at the top of all of the comments. Please click on the read more link, and you will see the link to the membership there if you're interested in joining us there. If you are interested in a private read, please know private reads are open, and whether you want that as a pre-recorded read or as a live read, you can book with me in advance for the live reads, and you will get between 5 and 75% off your readings. If you're interested in a pre-recorded reading, please take the link to Hypsee, look at all of my pricing and the kinds of packages I have to make your decision. I'm going to go into the extended. Thanks, Capricorn, for being here. I appreciate you. I'm going to go, but I'll be back because I'm always back. Thanks, Cappies. Bye-bye.